I was just scrolling through Reddit and I saw this post and it's actually pretty hilarious. This is full credit to Reddit and the user bvolleyballready, who says, on Twitter, yesterday, John Walker wrote an article for Kotaku about how gamers just can't handle criticism of their games and complained about receiving insults on Twitter. Brad Glasgow criticized his article. Walker then insulted his mom and told him to oof off. And bvolleyball then adds, this is a perfect example of why games journos should not be taken seriously. Now, I hopped over to John Walker's article, the one that allegedly has him mocking gamers for not being able to take criticism or something like that. Because before I could laugh at this guy, I just wanted to fact check that that was really accurate framing from Reddit's end. And look, it's the same issue I come across time and time again with journalists, not even just game journalists, but journalism in general. They make these articles so long because they get a boost in SEO the longer you're on the website. And especially if you click other articles, from that page and you stay on the site longer and go to other pages. That's kind of how it works in a TLDR format. But look, I'm not here to debate the author, John Walker. I just want to have some lulz, and I'm not about to read this whole mess just for some lulz. I have a better idea. You see, here is John Walker's tweet for the article that he made, and his own framing. He says, "This will be fine. I've written a feature for Kotaku exploring the phenomenon of a generation of games players who simply don't want critical reviews to exist." So at that point, I think, yes, bvolleyball over on Reddit framed it accurately, and now I will gladly proceed forward laughing at what ensues from here. So let me emphasize what's going on here next, just in case some people say, hey, how are you going to talk bad about this guy when you're not even reading the article? Because I'm not talking bad about him. I don't care about his article. I don't care what his opinion is. I'm not here to talk about that. Once again, I just want to laugh at the conversation that ensued right here on screen. So let's read it and have some laughs. And if that's not your thing, totally fine, go watch the Cyberpunk gameplay or something. That's pretty popular right now. Now, let's read. So Brad, in response to John's tweet, says, "Number one, it's an op-ed, not a feature." Oh, oof, that's pretty savage right there. 2, generally when you write about what gamers want, you should talk to the gamers and maybe get some depth on the issue. 3, quote, "Gamers be angry," unquote, is the Jerry Springer of hot takes. And then here's John Walker. Here's John Walker responding saying, "Number 1, oh my goodness, you think this is important?" Yeah, I do. I think it's important. I think it's hilarious because you're the one who said it's a feature. Apparently it's not, though. Apparently it's an op-ed. And you can see that the Cyberpunk article from John Walker is listed under editorial in comparison to other articles that may have been listed under features. So that is pretty amusing. Number 2, generally when I write about the experience of critics and the response they receive, I talk to critics. 3, your mom is a hot take. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, dude. Look at this. Brad responds and says, "Number 1, important? Meh, not really. But it is funny self-aggrandizing, calling it a feature when it amounts to a Twitter thread complaining about gamers." 2, generally when writing about A is doing something to B, it's a really good thing to find out why A is doing that thing to B. Oh, he didn't even comment about the mum part. Wow. Well, I guess there's not much to say about that. It speaks more on John's end, looking completely tacky to bring his mom into it. Like, what the heck's wrong with you, man? John then says, "Listen, you're a frothing fanboy who literally tweeted reviews don't matter in the midst of all your incessant bleating about a game you'd never played, and yet call yourself a journalist? So perhaps instead of crying your petty insults at me, maybe instead oof off. Oof off." For those of you that don't know, or if you're new to my channel, I do use a browser plugin, and that has replaced a word. I think you can imagine what 4-letter word would have been there originally. Brad then responded to that one and said, "Reviews don't matter. If every one of you had called it the worst game ever, CD Projekt Red would still have made $1 billion from it. But this is what I'm talking about. You dismiss me as a quote-unquote frothing fanboy and have no idea what I really think. You are lost to tribalism." And that's the extent of the conversation. It ends there. There's this one random person who responds, but I don't care about that guy at all, so I'm not even going to read that. And actually, that's really all I got to say on this one. I just wanted to have a laugh, as I said numerous times in this video, and I think it was successful. I did have some laughs. So thank you, Reddit, and thank you, bvolleyball, for the post. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you also had fun watching this video and reading this conversation. And yeah, journalism, especially gaming journalism, but journalism overall is pretty much a joke nowadays. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this one. I don't know if I'm going to be uploading 3 times today. We'll see what the day brings, and I'll catch you next time.